called In Heaven's Eyes. And this is a song helpful for all of us to keep our light shining so that we may not get discouraged. And it says, a single thread in a tapestry, though its color brightly shine, can never see its purpose in the pattern of the grand design. And the stone that sits on the very top of the mountain's face, does it think it's more important than the stones that form the base? So how can you see what your life is worth or where your value lies? You can never see through the eyes of man. You must look at your life. Look at your life through heaven's eyes. A lake of gold in the desert sand is less than a cool, fresh spring. And to one lost sheep, a shepherd boy is greater than the richest king. If a man loses everything he owns, has he truly lost his worth? Or is it the beginning of a new and brighter earth? So how do you measure the worth of a man? In wealth or strength or size? In how much he gained and how much he gave? The answer will come. The answer will come to him who tries to look at his life through heaven's eyes. And that's why we share all we have with you, though there's little to be found. When all you've got is nothing, there's a lot to go around. No life can escape being blown about by winds of change and chance. And though you never know all the steps, you must learn to join the dance. So how do you judge what a man is worth? By what he builds or buys. You can never see with your eyes on earth. Look through heaven's eyes. Look at your life. Look at your life. Look at your life through heaven's eyes. And in our lives, based on the way we see in our social, human, normal sense, we miss it. But when we try to see as God sees every single time the light of our soul and our shines. Out of love for God, out of care for people, and out of a desire to be used by God and change to grow. We must look through heaven's eyes. There is a movie, and I'm not going to tell you to see it because it's 3 hours, and you're going to find it very boring. It's called Barry Lyndon, and it's a movie by Stanley Kubrick, who is an amazing director who makes very bizarre movies. Now, this movie, though, was considered revolutionary in cinema. It was one of the first movies to actually use zoom in. People didn't think to do that before, right? Revolutionary. But what made this movie so amazing was that Stanley Kubrick decided that he wanted to film a movie about an Irish boy growing up in society, making it to high society in the 1700s, right? Not very exciting sounding, right? This was in the 80s when movies like Predator and Rocky, Schwarzenegger and Stallone, all those guys were making action movies, right? Barry Lyndon was a movie about a guy who played cards and gambled and tried to, rise in social society. Boring, right, compared to those movies. But what it did, though, the director wanted to film everything in natural light. Everything. He wanted to film a castle lit by candles, only using the candle light. Now, in movies, you can't capture the light with a regular camera. You just can't do it. You may have been moved one day to want to take a picture of the beautiful moon, and you put your iPhone up, and you took a picture of the beautiful moon, and you look at your iPhone, and it's a black screen, right? You can't capture sometimes beautiful light. It is something about regular cameras. You need, in most movies, artificial light to make the scene appear. So what did he do? This man made a movie beforehand about space. So NASA was very happy with him because everyone was talking about space travel. So he says, can I borrow the cameras you guys use for taking pictures of stars and of the moon? And they said, sure, you can take one, you can take 3 even. So they gave him these cameras whose lenses are about 16 inches long. Cameras that were meant to take pictures of the stars. That's how strong these cameras were. And you know what this man did? He knew that the only way to actually capture candlelight without using artificial light was to use a camera strong enough to take pictures of the stars in space. Meaning, the camera that can see in the heavens was the only one strong enough to see natural light on earth. So this is one of those stories where only through the lens of God that sees all the way from the heavens, only with that lens can we see on earth the light we all have. Otherwise, we're going to have to use artificial light to show our light, but really we don't show our light, we show other things. When you have God's view, when you say, Lord, I want your lens. I want to have the lens that sees from heaven to earth, sees your relationship with me from heaven to earth. That way I can see all around me and see the light